Welcome to a Merciless Gaming Media Dungeons & Dragons podcast. Today, we are playing our 8th episode of After the Tomb of Annihilation. Playing the role of a Zentarim assassin, Thrander Valquindus is Jerome. Geth Stronghold, the human barbarian, is played by Hegan. Strokehog Brewbane, the dwarven cleric and druid, is played by Nick. Myself, Patrick, will be acting the part of everyone else in the entire world as today's Dungeon Master. Please check out our Merciless Gaming Media Facebook page for podcast updates and some of our homebrewed content. Also, please feel free to drop us a comment, introduce yourself, and let us know how we're doing. Before we get started, I do have a little bit of news. My daughter, well, everybody here at the table already knows this. I'm only putting this out here so that our listeners get the 411. My daughter Casey, who plays Mr. Bubbensworth, she has given birth to my grandchild Faith, a beautiful, lovely granddaughter, and it's a great, wonderful thing that has been added into our life. I couldn't be happier. I'm full of joy, and it's going to be an interesting new era in Casey's life. Not so much mine, because being a grandfather doesn't require too much other than just love and support. That being said, Casey, in her new role as basically a full-time mother, is basically at the root of all this. She's just not going to have the time to participate in our campaigns. So, for this campaign, After the Tomb of Annihilation, I am going to be taking on her character and turning it into an NPC. He's still available. His knowledge, his experience, his abilities are still here to be utilized by the party. But I will be taking on the role of that character and turning him into a non-player character. With that being said, let's recap. The last time our intrepid adventurers had gotten together, you had made your way to the monastery for, I believe it was the second time? And
we had only went in once.
Right. And you'd made it in, but just a bit of a distance, and you realized that there was though you were being successful, there was a level of difficulty that made the party uncomfortable. And so you decided, as a group, to get out of the tomb and regroup. That's when Thrander came up with the idea that, based off of the fact that the party is in the Sunset Mountains, and knowing that one of the major strongholds for the Zentarim was in basically the neighborhood, for a lack of a better word, and also understanding that he had orders not to go directly to Darkhold, considering the curse that was placed on him and the rest of the group, and the danger that it could bring to others being in close vicinity to you, the party, the group, with this curse. You decided to go to a neighboring village by the name of Corm Orp. This is a halfling village that you were aware. It's not a very large village. It's a place, and when I say it's not a very large village, that's not a pun on the fact that these are halflings. There are other races that live there, but the majority of the population is halflings. It's a village. It's not a city. It's not a town. Their primary form of commodity is wine. There's a lot of grape vineyards around. Now, they do sell other produce, and there's other types of farms. But the big major industry of this small village is the making of wine. How this village exists, and this is something that Thrander knew, without being, for the most part, harassed, crushed under the foot of Darkhold, of the Zentarim, is that there is a network of information that passes through Corm Orp. And the party, at the lead of Thrander, upon getting to Corm Orp, made contact with somebody that could give them information, or basically pass information on from the village to somebody in the Zentarim in Darkhold. To find Corm Orp, Brewbane had made a new friend, a little bird, who he then named Tweaker, and with Tweaker's help, they were actually able to find the village. I kind of got that backwards. I probably should have said that first before everything that happened in the village, but it gets the point across, right?
Right.
And that is where you all find yourselves. You found an inn. I can't remember the name of the inn. Give me a moment here. Looking over my notes, it looks like the village or tavern. Well, it's a tavern and an inn that you guys are held up in as you're waiting for information to come back from Darkhold. Is a tavern inn that goes by the name of the Hungry Halfling. And with that, the curtain opens with our party rested, sitting around a table in the tavern, eating food and drinking, coming up with their plans for what they want to do next.
So you said we were waiting for word back from Darkhold.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
To see if they're going to be able to assist us at all.
Okay. What type of assistance were we asking for?
Whatever they can give us.
Whatever they can give us. Okay. And it's been just what, only a day or so?
Yep.
Okay.
Correct.
If they can help with any kind of manpower, I asked for resources that we could use against undead.
So Brewbane will go over here chatting up with Tweaker, handing him little strawberries.
Oh, thank goodness. Thank you. These are so good.
Well, hopefully you're hungry.
I
got a whole bowl.
He will actually hop off of your shoulder down onto the table and then hop over to the edge of the bowl. And then you just head first. Plunk. Berries go scattering across the table and he just starts pecking at them. It's almost horrifying because he's basically coming up with all this. It's like he can't eat an entire berry whole, right? Mm-hmm. So he's got to pull it up almost like it was like flesh, and he's tearing into it, and little bits of berry are flying everywhere, and berry juices. It's like watching a barbarian eat raw meat. And he doesn't have teeth to chew, so whatever bits that he rips off, he does that whole swallowing it down the gullet. It's almost barbaric.
Maybe I should have cut him in half.
It doesn't seem to deter him. that you just presented a bowl of berries to him.
Hold on, what's on today's schedule?
More waiting. Till we hear word.
Seriously? I can only drink so much. I'm joking, of course. I could drink a lot, but... I see you staring at my food. You want a bite?
Is Geth actually going to rip some of the food out of his hand?
No.
Okay.
I don't know, a little bit of sightseeing, information gathering.
This bird is enough entertainment for me right now.
Oh, he's doing a fine job with those berries.
Looks like he's making more of a mess than actually eating, though.
It does. It does look like he's making more of a mess than what he's actually getting down his gullet. And it isn't hard to see that there's more berry than bird there. And the chances of him finishing that off is very slim.
I'm not the one who has to clean it.
It's true.
You might want to stop him before he eats too many.
True. I think I've created a monster. I've given him a little bit more than he needs. I'll try and grab the bowl. Okay, little fella. I think that's a bit...
He's literally got one of his clawed feet on the edge of the bowl. And his other one's dragging across the tables. He's trying to pull himself back up onto the bowl to dive his head back in. Wait.
Well, I'll grab a few at a time and put them on the table and you can peck at them.
I don't understand why you can't just leave it on the table. It's
You're
fine.
going
Everything's
mad.
fine.
You're
Everything's
going...
fine. It's going to be okay.
God, that is a proper
You just
freaking
need-
name I gave to you, isn't it?
You just need to calm down.
I need to calm down. You're the one over here scattering all over the place. Yeah, I'm not going to leave the bowl. Knock it off.
People are looking at him, wondering why he's talking to a bird.
The bird, to everybody else, is just tweet, 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 tweet.
Well, listen, you can ruin your appetite for a freaking lunch. We're going to knock it off.
Just one more. Just give me one more.
You got all over the flipping table there.
Oh, you're right. And he hops off of the bowl and scurries across the table and starts going after the scraps.
Oh, jeez.
That'll teach you.
I learned nothing, boy.
You should learn. Never feed wild animals.
Thrander, can you remind me what languages you speak?
I speak Elvish, Common, I have Thieves' Cant, and Dwarvish.
Understood.
No monster languages this time around.
As you're sitting there and you're watching this spectacle unfold at the table before you, from the corner of your eye, Thrander, one of the halflings that you communicated your request through, and it's very subtle, and even if anybody else saw it, they probably wouldn't know or understand what is going on or what it is. But the hand signal that you see is in Thieves' Cant. And you can kind of tell it's meant for you based off of the fact that it's the back of the hand that's communicating, though it's down at the halfling side, is in your general direction. It's done in such a way where even though they're not doing it in front of you, they did it in such a way to kind of catch your attention and also make sure that not a lot of other people can see this maneuver. But you get the hand signal that basically says, they're here. And as you look up across the inn, you see 4 individuals enter through. They just have entered through the door. The one in the lead is a mature-looking, blonde-haired lady. There's something about her from the standpoint of, she's got a look. 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 she's attractive, but she's kind of got that motherly age about her, but there's also a very striking sharpness in her eyes and the way that she carries herself. She's preceded by a gentleman, probably a half-elf based off of his ears. His sides of his head is shaved, but not all the way down, like I got a really close fine shave down. He's got a little bit of like sideburns, but the hair that he has on top is almost like greased like a pompadour. On his shoulder, he has a little green winged snake. Behind them are two brutish looking individuals. The first one is, he's got like this shaved pate, but it's got like the 9 o'clock shadow across his entire skull. And he's got like no neck, right? And as he moves across the floor in the area, he's got that look where he's looking at everyone and everything through his eyebrows. And there are kind of, not that they're bushy, but the bone of them is thick. He's also quite built. He's wearing a leather vest with no undershirt. Around his right arm is a big black leather, almost like I don't want to say bracer, but it's packed with these really long spikes. His boots and his knees also are these like black, like the tongue of the boot and the knee, it's like got knee pads, are these like wicked looking long, sharp, pointy,
like needles,
but not that thick. The other guy with him, he's wearing kind of like a patchwork of armor. Some of it's been colored to kind of make it look like it's ill-matched, but it's been colored to make it look like it's all part of one thing. But he's also carrying at his side like this wicked-looking morning star. He has this long, just blasted out brown hair. He almost, it would be like if Albert Einstein had brown hair instead of white hair. It's just, all over the place. His eyes dart around the room, and there's almost like this kind of maniacal or manic, like move. Everything about him is like he looks twitchy, and it's like he's expecting anybody or everything to make a sudden move. He's kind of jumpy. Anyway, long story short, that's the description of them. What I'm now going to put up for the players is a picture. Obviously, the listeners, hopefully I gave enough good of a description that the listeners know what the heck I'm talking about. But that's the picture of the lady and the gentleman that's with her that has the snake. And I know this is a smaller picture, but this is the picture of the two thuggish-looking individuals. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
They make it like a good 20 feet into the tavern. Come to a stop. At least she does. She seems to be in the lead, and she starts slowly scanning the room, looking over all the patrons, back and forth, until eventually her eyes land on the four of you. Therander, are you giving her thieves' cant signals from across the room?
No, I'm just messing around
All right.
with Nick. That's why I had the strong hand signal.
You got the I got the strong hand. As her eyes lay upon the four of you, a wry kind of smile, very mild, almost imperceptible, curls at the end of one side of her face, and then she slowly starts to glide towards your guys' table. When she comes to your table, she comes to a stop as she stands there looking over you, and that smile hasn't faded. Well, good day, gentlemen.
Good day.
Aye.
Are you... the Rander?
I am.
I believe you sent a message a couple of days ago.
Yes, I did.
Well, your message was received, and I'm here to do the best I can to answer. Can I have a seat?
Please.
She sits down at the table across from you. The gentleman with the snake sits next to her, and the other two kind of disperse into the room. They go find like their own separate table, not together. But they obviously are positioning themselves where they can keep an eye not only on you, but the door. Well, it seems I have you at a disadvantage, so let me see if I can help even the playing field. My name is Kella Darkhope. And this here is my associate, Zolkin Alisandar. We have received not only information from you, but from a mutual friend of ours who works in the city of Waterdeep, giving us at least some detail as to your situation. I also understand that the group of you played a very key role in setting up operations in Schult. And let me be very frank with you. I believe, personally, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be here. And as she says that, Zolkin is the one who gives a wry smile.
So the fact that we destroyed the Soulmonger has no bearing on it either?
There are people within the organization who believe that you and your group have played a very important role and may have brought considerable riches to the organization. Yeah. And then they done fucked it all up, didn't they? Found yourself... Just be quiet. It's not your turn to speak. I have some things that may be of assistance to you, but before I lay it all out on the table, just to make sure we're all on the same page, why don't you give me an idea of just exactly what it is that you're looking for? Because if it's a wish, if it's some way to break the curse, I think I'm going to fail in your request. I do think, though, I have some stuff that may help you. I'm pretty sure they're doomed. I told you to be quiet. One more word out of you. Okay.
One thing that myself and my team here have come to find out is that doom is subjective. We faced the dangers of Cholt. We faced down the Lich Azarak. We've faced the Gith Yankee. And yet here we sit, alive and well. So I think your perspective of doom might be a little jaded, friend.
But here, we're not total barbarians here. Here, put that in your gob.
You hand him a glass of... or
I hand him like a
mug.
A bit of a stab of... Yeah.
As you do that, and he kind of half-assedly accepts. He kind of pulls it towards him, but he doesn't seem to be all that very interested in it. He gives you this weird roll me perception. He gives you a weird look when you offer this drink to him.
19.
You notice a couple of things. It takes him aback, but just for a brief second. But the look he gives you is one of there's a look of concern and a look of, you got to be kidding me, right? And you get the impression that he thinks you're trying to poison him. The other thing you notice is that his snake is like an arrow with his eyes. Wherever tweaks, moves on the table, keeping in mind this is a small snake, so probably the only reason it hasn't struck is Tweaker is probably too big for the snake, but that doesn't stop the snake from thinking about it. Like, the snake's head is probably about the size of a quarter, where Tweaker in total size is what? A very large cupcake. Yeah. So there's no way that snake could even open its mouth wide enough to swallow, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the snake is not interested.
All right.
Okay.
Have no fear, friend. Poison is not his forte. He is the team healer. I would be more wary accepting a drink from me. That's my specialty. And then I give him one of those funny smiles that he's been giving us.
Very nice.
Would you mind if I was able to speak to him?
You just mind your business, and I'll mind mine.
Boy. Fair enough, then. I was just trying to be courteous.
I hear your words about doom. I'd really like to see somebody try to figure out how to unfuck themselves. Good luck with that.
I mean, if you're meaning to stick around...
I told you now, you need to stand up and you need to go walk outside. As a matter of fact, make yourself useful and go grab the bags outside and bring them in. I don't want to hear another word out of you. If you say. And he gets up and he starts walking towards the door.
Everything that I have done, everything that my team has done, has been for the benefit of the organization, which is the reason why we knew better than to actually knock upon the door of Darkhold.
Oh, no. I mean, you've been asking for some help for some time, and I have been told to apologize for the lack of response in a timely manner. I'm here to do the best that I can to make amends for that.
To be honest, we wouldn't have even asked again here, but being so close to the area and where our mission, where this journey has taken us, has put me in the position where I felt it would be in our best interest to maybe ask one more time.
Understood. Before my compatriot makes his way back in, I will tell you that I have brought 2 up-and-coming, not completely green, but up-and-comers. They have received some basic training, but they have been assigned to you to help you as you see fit. That brutish gentleman over there, who is not bothering to wear a shirt, by the way, goes by the name of Smirking Viper Rycroft. That madman over there, who looks like he's been chewing on lightning, goes by the name of Straight Jacket Brook. Now, of course, if you want, you can decline if you don't feel like they'll be of any service to you. And I will have to admit, any further progress that they make will require some attention on your part. To mold, to train, to make sure that they meet our standards. It's totally up to you.
So they haven't been combat tested yet, then?
Oh no, they've cracked open a couple of skulls.
Does the organization understand what exactly we are facing? I mean,
Yes, they do. You can use these two however you see fit. I suggest you be imaginative.
So I got Smirking Viper, and the other guy was...
So you don't have to worry about writing that down. If you do accept them, I have all the information that you need right here. That's totally up to you, though.
What do you think? I don't know if it'd be a good idea to take them into battle with us all the time, especially into the monastery. We barely made it out this last time.
Well,
and we are...
They can spy for you. They can investigate. They can track down information. They can pass back messages. Or if there's just somebody that you want to collect money from, they're more than happy to bash in a couple of skulls.
Oh, we haven't been here long enough to get one of those.
Very well.
But if they don't suit your needs, I'm sure we can find work for them elsewhere.
I think we can find something for them to do that can help out.
Very well. As of this moment, they are in your charge. After that, Zolkin comes back, and you can see him coming in through the door. And he gives a little nod to Kella. And she goes, what we're about to do next, we may want to find some privacy. Do you have somewhere we can go?
We have rooms here.
Very well. Then maybe we should head to one of those rooms.
Okay. Let's go.
Ready to... Hey, come here.
What are we doing?
Yeah, look, I got some berries in my hand. Come on.
As a matter of fact, I take that back. What he's doing is he's kind of laying on his side, using one of his wings to prop him up, and he's like, he doesn't go what. He'll be more like, what? What's going on?
Oh, there. I got you, little buddy. Come here.
I can't feel my heart.
You'll feel it sooner or later.
It used to go. It's now going. Good-do. Am I gonna die?
If you do, I'll help you. It's okay.
He's having a heart attack.
Oh god. He kind of lays down in your palm, and his gut is just almost at bursting. And he's got little bits of cherry or berry drool coming out of the side of his little beak. The other side is his tongue.
Let me know if you gotta throw up. I'll put you over the railing.
You might want to roll me over on my stomach.
Okay.
Hadouken!
Oh, that's a good fella. Learned your lesson now, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. So that was awful.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Next time we'll do it in moderation.
Oh, if you say so.
He rolls over and he's like, hey, y'all.
Hey, y'all. I'm alive again. You guys head up to one of your rooms.
Mm-hmm.
Dealer's choice. It's the four of you, along with Zolkin and Kella. The two Zentarim thugs remain behind in the tavern. Though, just to back up, as you guys are leaving, and you see Darkhope, Kella Darkhope, give them a signal that basically says the deal's completed. And from that moment on, as you guys are leaving, these two are eyeing you for any information, but they don't move unless you give them any direction.
Okay. Well, I'll just let him hang tight for now.
And they do.
I'll flip a silver at each. Drink.
They both catch the silver that you gave them, and they're looking at a single silver piece, and they give you this look like, okay, thanks.
Well, I'm not going to give you a fucking gold coin now, am I?
Thanks.
Pretty sure silver is enough for a freaking ale. What the hell?
Oh, yeah, that's more than enough for an ale.
Oh, so they're looking at me like, you just gave us too much, or...
No, they're looking at you like...
Really?
Oh, we're not strapped for money?
Yeah, like, you think we're poor or something?
Oh, just be grateful, you little bastards.
You guys make it up to the room. And Zolkin is carrying several of these bags. They're almost like duffel bags, except without the zippers, right? When he gets up to the room, he places them on the bed, and he starts to untie them, opening them up. He pulls out, he starts with, it's like a little wooden crate. It's probably about 12 by 12 by 12. And he pries open the lid, and inside are 7 bottles, and they're packed in there with hay, straw. And he leaves them in the box, and he sets it off to the side. In a smaller box, it's probably 3 inches by 2 inches by 2 inches. He opens that one on a hinge, and inside you can see 2 very black rings. He pulls out a scroll case and opens it's also hinged. It's like a round tube. It's probably 3 inches in diameter and about 8 inches to 10 inches long. And it opens. It's also made out of wood, nondescript. There's no scroll work or anything on it. That opens on a hinge, and you can see there's several scrolls in there. And in the separate bag, he opens that bag up and he starts pulling out a set of half plate. 1 set. Well, gentlemen, after much to do and a lot of scraping around, talking to our scholars and looking through our armoring, the following items is what we were able to scrap together that we thought may have the best chance of helping you. Here are 7 potions, and you don't need to write this down. Once I give it, I have it all. Just hand it to somebody.
Righto.
Save somebody some handwriting.
Mm-hmm.
Here we have 7 potions of invulnerability.
Ooh.
So basically, if you drink this for 1 minute, you will have resistance, not immunity, but resistance to all damage. Probably something you would want to do in the case of whatever. You mentioned something about necrotic or negative energy. This might help. These 2 rings are rings of necrotic resistance. These 6 scrolls are scrolls of protection from energy. That includes necrotic. And unfortunately, I was only able to scrape up this 1 half plate armor of necrotic resistance. DM to the players, who would like this piece of paper?
I guess I'll
Me? Me?
I'll take it, I guess.
Alright, there you go.
Well, we know who's getting the half plate. Nobody else wears that stuff.
And I'm still in ringmail.
What'd you learn?
That I haven't been given the chance to go get plate mail. Oh.
Thanks, DM.
You're welcome. I will give you all a moment to soak that all in.
That armor does look cool, though.
Yes, I included a picture that I thought looked pretty cool for half plate. It even has this kind of like Zentarim look to it.
Yeah, I can't wear that because I'll mess with my dex and stuff. Slow my movement. But my movement's plus 2 times because right now my movement's at 80 because I have movement of 40 and then I have boots that put it up 2 times.
Gotcha.
So if I took the armor, I can still take the half of movement.
I told you it wasn't going to be good enough. This was all just a waste of time. You can go wait outside.
So, Mr. Bubbinsworth.
Yes.
I'm thinking maybe you want to carry the scroll case?
I have no problem with that. I'd be more than happy to carry the scroll case. However, I do believe that anybody can use the scrolls. Or almost anybody.
It says cleric, druid, ranger, sorcerer, and wizard.
Yeah, it covers just about almost everybody.
So,
but yes, if you insist, I'd be more than happy to carry all the scrolls.
I was just thinking 1 person with the scrolls, 2 people with rings, and then Nick with the plate, the half plate.
Sure.
And that covers everybody for necrotic resistance.
Sure. It's fair. I understand your logic.
Well, the powers that be would foresee when you would need to cast a scroll of protection from energy.
I am sure I do not understand what you are saying, but there's no point in arguing.
I have that spell as well.
So, you take a ring, and then I'll take a ring. And I mean, it's cool because, like, the only person that really has to write, well, I mean, you know about the 6 scrolls. Nick can pull up the stats for half plate.
Yes.
So it says here, it doesn't say that it has any other bonuses on it, so it's just magical half plate with necrotic resistance, so whatever that'll put your armor to.
Yeah.
It is +1. The DM messed up. It is +1 half plate.
So,
but please, by all means, you could write that down.
Better without armor anyway.
Yeah, I am.
So, ring of resistance. So basically, every time you take necrotic damage,
Half it?
you'll half it. And then if there's a save involved, I believe that cancels it completely.
If you make a save and it's halved based off of the save, the ring will then bring it to 0. That is correct. My dear Kella, I am sure my friends and myself, if I may speak on their behalf, find this very helpful. However, I must point out to the rest of my group, if we are going where I believe we'll eventually be going, this will only help so much.
Well, that's why we need to get back in that monastery and figure out the information that they have on the negative energy plane.
I agree.
Hopefully this will give us the boost we need to get past the obstacles inside the monastery.
Nice.
So let's see, there's 4 of us, and there's 7 potions. So I say everybody take at least 1 potion. And it's one of those break glass in case of emergencies. Like if you're seriously getting the crap beat out of you, then I'd say pop the potion. And luckily enough, we'll have 3 spares. So if somebody does need to pop a potion to survive, then at least...
They can get one back.
Yeah, we'll have at least 3 spare. We can... But
Egan, can I see that sheet real quick?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Mm-hmm. I know I'm the one who wrote it all down, but my brain is... Protection from injury. Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, one more time. I messed up. Jeez.
after we get done divvying everything up and stuff, I'm like...
All right, well, there's a total of 7 potions.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll...
1 each and then 3 spare.
Okay, gotcha.
So if, say, Mr. Bovensworth, for some reason, has to pop a potion, he can grab one from the extras to make sure he has at least 1 on him.
Who's carrying the extras?
I'll carry him.
There you go. 6 scrolls of protection of energy. 6 scrolls.
Sweet. My AC goes up to 20.
I had a feeling. Well, I thought your AC was already 18 and 20.
Huh?
I thought your AC was already...
So with the shield, goes up to 20.
So now it's 20, 22.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes more
Because
sense.
with the forge and everything, I get an extra +1 of that too.
You want to pass that piece of paper there to Nick just so you can see how cool that armor looks?
I'll pass it to Patty. Or, that works.
That didn't work. It didn't catch the wind that needed it.
Yeah, it's all good.
To piggyback off of what Mr. Bovensworth said, now that we're done deciding who needed what, this will be helpful. Thank you very much.
I am so glad to hear that. I assume that I will be able to go back to our superiors and give them a positive report.
Yes, and as soon as we get this loose end tied up, I will send word and let the organization know when we are ready to come back into the fold and handle whatever business is needed.
I will tell you, based off of what I heard, when your ship came in with the first shipment of the commodity from Cholt, the quality and the amount was quite lucrative. It was quite the buzz. I will tell you that our superiors, at least from that perspective, are quite happy. And that material will go to help the organization a long way.
Well, at least something good is coming out of this shitstorm. I don't know a better way to describe it. Unfortunately, when we left Asarak's lair, what we took with us was all that was in there, or else we wouldn't have taken it had we had known what it was.
Yes, I can see how your situation is quite unfortunate.
Yeah, well, the Queen of the Githyanki, I believe she's a lich. They're after us as well.
I was under the understanding that there were quite a number of very powerful undead mages that were after you.
Mm-hmm. We've already taken 1 off that list, though, so we're down to 25 and not 26.
You make it sound so positive.
Well, what else is there to say about it? In my line of work, it's always positive until you're looking up out of the ground, and then the positivity ends.
Very well. I will take your word for it.
The guy's just over there and looking in his beard to look at the guy. See what he's doing.
As you bury your face deeper and deeper into your own beard, you can hear, it's almost like putting your ear inside of a cave, deep down in the far back recesses of this supposed cave. You can hear this very faint snoring with a whistle.
I named him Jared.
Why did you name him Jared?
First name that came to my mind.
All right, well, that's what you want to name him. That's totally up to you. Get your boy in check there, Jerome.
I don't know, man.
He's out of control.
Give him a little bit of that key, y'all.
Well, we'll have to figure out what to do with our new associates, because I don't think taking them into the monastery is going to be a good idea.
Oh, I think it's an excellent idea. A little bit of battle experience. Come on. I was tossed in with you guys.
We weren't fighting liches at that time.
Yeah, but monsters were very scary there. I mean, shit, a fucking gigantic T-Rex, popping out of fucking nowhere. Yep, that's alright.
Not with those stats. They're not built for this.
A lich stopping time, casting like 13 fireballs. That was a good one.
As you progress in levels, Jerome, you and I will have to figure out how they too will progress. Okay, so that those stats are not set in stone. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. There's a couple different ways we can go about it. I'm open-minded and flexible, so put some thought to it and let me know what you think.
So just a quick question.
Shoot.
Looking at the hit dice, it says 5d8, so I'm assuming they're the equivalent of 5th level characters?
That would be correct.
Okay.
You assume correctly.
So it's true. They're not green at all. They're green in the sense of dealing with stuff that we're dealing with.
Correct.
Oh.
Well, these are some pipe-wielding, hard-hitting, mean SOBs. But they have never been up against anything like the likes of what you guys are up against. So yes.
Yeah, I would not bring them into battle from looking at their armor class and their hit points. They could almost get one-shotted by an easy mob.
There's no easy mob.
Nonsense.
Well, the easiest one in there can be like, shoot, and they'll all be like...
There's no easy. Where do you get this easy from? If it was easy, we wouldn't have left the monastery. Were you even here for that session?
Yeah.
Then quit throwing the word around easy. It's one thing to be confident, but there ain't nothing easy about anything we're doing.
I wasn't saying that it was easy to
I
go
agree with
through.
Ian. It's easy.
I was just saying the mob that wasn't the hardest to fight would still kill them. I wouldn't say they weren't easy. I'm just saying easier compared to the other ones we went and fought in the monastery.
The halfling cannibals would kill these guys.
The halfling cannibals. Yeah, I mean, mull it over, Jerome. They literally can do whatever you within reason. Whatever you want them to do, they within reason they'll do.
Okay.
They're your thugs.
Kind of like my cleric of Bane.
Exactly.
With his, those guys are. That was pretty cool having those dudes.
Yeah.
They can do some cool stuff. I mean, I'm sure we'll find a use for them. 2 humans to boot.
Good enough.
There are all kinds of races or species in the Zentarim. Humans are the most common.
So, once again, Kella, give our regards to the organization leadership.
I shall. If there's nothing else I can be of service for you, I will, hopefully it doesn't sound too rude, but I will leave you.
Trust me, I understand that you have more pressing things to deal with.
Well, as I understand it, being near you can be considered very dangerous.
Hey.
The look you give her.
It's like that one video with the dude. God, I don't remember his name. They're like, he walks into the room and he's like got his back turned and he turns around and he goes, smiles and winks.
Smiles and winks.
Yes. Luckily, we've been on the move enough that we haven't had to deal with that, but I think we're probably due for another visit anytime. Although the phylacteries haven't showed up, so that's a good sign. Like I said, once we get these loose ends, once we get done with this problem, which I know we will, because I have faith in my team.
Gotta have faith.
Does the organization require us to return these to the armory? I mean, obviously the potions and the scrolls are consumables, but the rings and the armor?
I hope you do not take this the wrong way, Thrander. There is no expectation of you bringing the stuff back.
Very well. Well, if once we finish we have no use of it, we'll be more than happy to just return it, even though it is not expected of us.
It is your choice, of course.
Just in case somebody else in the organization runs into a similar problem. Obviously they won't, but...
The gods willing, hopefully this will not happen again. Because it just sounds awful. What you're going through just sounds awful.
Well, the dealing with the liches isn't even the bad part. The bad part's going to have to be trying to find a way to the negative energy plane to fight this lich who is like almost like a demigod, who is working with the half-dead god Merkel.
I was under the impression that Merkel was a god of the past.
Well, we found out through our investigation that Merkel had used one of the lich's phylacteries to store a part of himself in there and has thus freed himself and is working hand in hand with Asarak.
You know, the more I hear of your story, the worse it sounds.
Oh, it get worse. It get worse.
We're big fans of go big or go home.
And we're not going home.
Very well. I will pass this little extra tidbit of information off to our superiors.
Luckily enough, if Merkel goes down again, there is no chance of him going back into that phylactery because that phylactery has now been destroyed.
Gods do have a funny way of bouncing back, don't they?
What was the name of the god whose cleric helped us destroy that phylactery? It's the one that took the portfolio of Merkel over.
Yeah. Give me 1 second. Well, the person that helped you was Grimhammer.
Mm-hmm.
And let me guess, I didn't bother to write down...
Grimhammer Schwarzenegger?
Give me 1 second. I know I have the notes here somewhere.
Is it Cyric?
No, it's not Cyric. No, I'm sorry, it wasn't Grimhammer. It was Undoth Obones. And he is a Doom Guide and Knight of the Eternal Order of Kellenvor.
Kellenvor.
Yes.
So, at least we were smart enough to utilize the aid of the god who would be in direct disagreements in what Merkel's doing to help us defeat him by destroying the phylactery. It was only a minor victory, of course, because as far as we know, the god is still alive. But we were able to find out more. And then hopefully, once we get into this monastery, we'll be able to find out how we can actually get there. Although, the trick is coming back, I believe. Actually, just kidding, the trick is surviving while there.
Yes, I believe that's going to be the biggest trick. based off of the items that we have just required, it will buy us some time, but best calculation, a couple of minutes before all the very life of us is drained. If things, again, to be clear, we're not going to the negative material plane. We're going to a demi-plane that resides on the boundary of the negative material plane. But I would assume it's just as bad.
Well, we can't let Asarak and Merkel take control of all the dead across the worlds.
Across the multiverse.
Yeah, maybe your companion with the snake on his shoulder was right about the doom. Although I just don't see it that way.
Don't listen to him. He's just a blowhard.
Sounds like he's a little jealous that his life isn't that interesting right now.
Oh, my friend and I used to just have the run of the place. Been on quite a few adventures ourselves.
Well, once again, thank you.
It has been a pleasure to meet all of you. And I honestly wish you the best. Good luck. And with that, I shall say good day.
Good day.
Good day.
I said good day.
I said good day. And she does. She leaves the room, leaving the four of you to commiserate.
Right, first, what do we do with our two little lackeys?
That's what I was about to say.
Should we send them out to like a little bit of information gathering then?
That's what I was thinking.
Since everybody wants to keep them safe and protect them.
Has nothing to do with that. It has to do with not wasting resources.
Yeah, I told that to the big wolf.
Because I believe that they could be useful. And with the proper training and guidance.
You're gonna have to give them that. You seem so much better with a sword. Unless the big one knows how to use a hammer. Was the big one actually carrying any weapons besides the like spikiness?
They're carrying the maces too.
Oh, they're both carrying maces?
What it says here is it says mace for a melee weapon and then a heavy crossbow.
Yeah, I'll give them little pointers. The heavy end goes that way.
So as being thugs, is thug like a... I wouldn't say a subclass of a fighter, but they're definitely strong arm melee characters.
Yeah, so normally thugs let's say you were running like a thieves guild, and part of your business was
Debt collection and protection.
Your thugs would be the heavy arm of that. But they can also be, depending on how you outfit them, they could be mercenary. These individuals probably have their combat experience is probably anywhere from individual to small group combat, usually in an urban environment. They probably don't have a lot of army. They could have. They may have a military background. You don't know until you talk to them. But these would be the strong arm of some kind of normally. A thug would be like the strong arm of a thieves guild or something like that. A mob, a gang. These aren't your second window type guys. These are the guys who kick in the door and then rob the place.
Gotcha. Well, shall we bring them up here and talk with them? See what kind of... maybe get some feedback from them.
Excellent.
Find out what their comfort zones are as far as... basically, the more we know about them, the easier it's going to be for us to throw tasks at them. And maybe what they need to polish up on. That's going to suit our needs. Because once we survive this, because we will, we're going to have our own little team. And if... maybe what we did in Cholt wasn't the only business. The Zents like doing stuff like that. It makes for a good cover, plus it brings in resources. So if we can get our own little crew of guys that we know we can trust. I already trust you for Is it 4? No, 3. Because there's only 4 of us. My bad.
4 in total, yeah.
I mean, I already trust you 3. So, even though Mr. Bubbinsworth isn't technically a member of our organization, he hasn't given me any reason not to.
I am technically a member of another organization. That is correct. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yet.
We'll see.
Pretty sure we will.
I'll go down to the stairs and I'll look down at both of them and throw some hand signs telling them to come upstairs.
All right, so Therander goes down the stairs, start throwing some gang signs around the tower. I know you meant thieves can't.
I go
giving you a hard time.
I go like this.
Just walks in there.
Sup? Boop, boop, boop. So yeah, they very quickly catch your gist, and as nonchalantly as they can, like slide out of their table or slide off the stool, pay for whatever, you know, they throw some coins up on the counter of the table to pay for whatever they were not drinking, and very casually, in an attempt to be nondescript as best as they can, considering what they look like. Also, being that the majority of the people in the tavern are halflings, they work their way towards the stairs and then follow you back to your room. What can we do for you, Gav?
Well, as you know, you are now under our guidance, and we wanted to pick your brain somewhat, not in a mind flare type way, but let's just say a commander versus his soldiers type way. I need to know your strong points. I need to know what you're not feeling so comfortable pulling off. That way we can figure out what kind of assignments we can give you, because at this time we don't feel that it would be in your best interest or ours to take you on some of the stuff that we will be doing.
What my friends here trying to say to you, Gav, is our specialty is cracking skulls. Once everybody in a crack skull, we bash him in the face, and they're gonna get him.
So we got a Cajun and a Brit.
What a pair they make.
How's your information gathering?
Oh, you don't worry about that, Gov. We're very, very persuasive. Persuasive.
Gotcha. Well, see, the type of information that we're looking for, I don't think you'd be able to beat out of anybody. Have you been briefed at all about the situation that we're in right now?
Yeah, right. We've heard what you up against, Gov. Yeah. Sounds quite interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, sure. Got yourself in a hard spot, yeah. Between a rock and a hard place, yeah. Got that, Gov, yeah.
Yeah, and until you guys are at a more experience level of combat.
Oh, don't worry about us, Gov. We've been in a tussle, eh? Yeah, we can hang.
I don't doubt your abilities for fighting the beating up the passerby who say didn't want to pay something, or
you wouldn't happen to have a passerby that hasn't paid yet, eh?
No, we're not at that point right now.
Yeah, we could go drum up some business. It seems like this lot around here are easy targets.
Well, I should let you know that there's an agreement with this village in Darkhold that it would be a good idea for you not to go stepping on any toes.
I did not know. I'm sorry. I did not meant to step out of place.
There's a reason why this village is allowed to exist so close to Darkhold.
Well, you don't worry about it. You just point us in the right direction.
Well,
do you need somebody with a sharp object in the back?
no,
Maybe a sharp object in the eye.
nothing like that. What you gotta understand is here's the situation. We're dealing with 25 liches. You know what a lich is?
Sure. It's a bloodsucker. Sure. Don't
No.
worry, Guff. Got it.
Not a bloodsucker. That's a vampire.
Oh, these little creatures.
Not a leech, a lich.
What you gonna do against you, Luis? Yeah. I'm a little confused.
It's a very powerful sorcerer that has gone, or magic user that has gone through a ritual to become undead. Therefore, they don't die. They place part of their soul, or all of it, into a container so that if you destroy their body, they cannot die, as long as that container still exists. Well, we unfortunately have come across 25 of those containers, and all of those liches want those containers back. But that's not the kicker.
So let me guess here, Gov. What you want us to do is take back their containers, or you want us to crack open the skulls.
No.
You want us to destroy the containers. Make them disappear.
What I need you to do is there is a group of these liches that is loyal to, we'll say, the big boss lich. And what we need is a list of those liches. Now, this ain't going to be easy information to come by. They're called the Twilight Cabal.
Right. Twilight Cabal.
Because we don't feel that we need to fight all of these liches to get to the boss, if you know what I mean. We're trying to bypass some of that. Because I'm gonna put it to you straight. The magical capabilities of liches puts your average everyday spellcaster to shame easily. I mean, you're talking about guys that can manipulate time, space, the damage that they could do with fire and lightning and all the other stuff. Let's just say they surpass some of the most powerful mages. Because if you live forever, that gives you more time to get more powerful, correct?
Sure, Guff. Sure. I'm following you.
So basically,
I see what you're putting down.
What we need is that information. Now, our associate here, Mr. Bubbensworth, his organization is currently looking into this Twilight Cabal. So what I was thinking is if Mr. Bubbensworth can contact his associate, and maybe you guys can work side by side, a little partnership, and maybe digging up this information.
Let me make sure I understand what you're asking, Mr. Thoranda. Would you like to send these to individuals someplace where they might be able to obtain information from my organization?
I was thinking more of a joint effort. I know your organization is looking for information, and maybe, not to say that your organization can't, but maybe there's places they can't get into that my guys can. I'm just saying, like a mutual partnership as we're working together now.
Sure, of course, I understand.
Plus, it would give them something to do that'll keep them out of harm's way until we can get them better equipped and trained.
What my good friend here is trying to say, Gov, is you don't need to coddle us. We can handle ourselves.
No, I understand that, but you see this?
Almost insulting.
You see this young man right here?
You grunt at him.
You see this right here? That was an arm torn off in a combat. You see this scar right here? That's another arm torn off in the combat. You see his hand over there? That was fingers and stuff chopped off. I mean, we're talking like the stuff we get into is no joke. Like, we're talking like mutilation. We're talking like hot, fiery death raining from the heavens. And
he lifts up his shirt and shows you a wound. He's like, I got stabbed right there. And that's right, I was doing some work in an alley. This guy came up out of nowhere, asking for some money, stabbed me right there. Snapped his neck. And he shows you a scar on his arm.
Okay, well, here's a question for you. How many fireballs do you think you could survive consecutively?
Well, Gov, I have to say, I've never been in a fireball.
These guys right here took 3 to the face.
I think, Gov, that a better plan would be to avoid them.
Well, let me explain. You remember how I told you how they're able to stop time?
Oh, yeah. I remember you mentioned something about that, yeah.
So these guys right here couldn't move and dodge out of the way of them fireballs because the Lich had stopped time completely. I'm just trying to paint a bigger picture so you actually can grasp the forces that we are up against. Have you ever heard about the Githyanki?
Never heard of them, Gov. No idea.
Carry these...
might as well be speaking Thayanese.
Well, let's call this book day 1 education. Because if you're going to be hanging with us, then you need to know some details about the danger you're in hanging with us. Now, I'm not trying to discount what skills you have, but I'm just trying to let you know that the stuff we're up against, it ain't no stab in the stomach, give me your money. It's eat 3 fireballs, get your astral cord cut with a great sword, and die instantly type stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about bombardments from flying ships the size of meteorites hitting the ground. I'm not talking about a simple prison shank in the alleyway and somebody trying to mug you. I mean, we're talking some real heavy-duty shit. Now, I don't normally talk like this, but I felt like I had to kind of go there to give you a better understanding exactly of the situation that you've been placed in. And if you can deal with this and progress and move up as far as experiences gained, then yeah, when the time's right and I feel and we feel that you're ready to come on a mission with us, then by all means, we'll take you with us. But for right now, I need you to do some of this other stuff for us. Kind of earn your keep. Prove that you're capable, so to speak.
Walter Ranger's saying that they all just see Guest stand up, and when Dad was explaining about the Lich and all that, Guest just sits back up straight and he's like...
Looking around. Geth gets up and starts looking around.
No, he's just sitting down, but he's constantly just checking behind him.
Checking behind him for what?
We don't know if anything's gonna pop.
The PTSD.
Oh.
He's scratching his neck.
All right, Gov. It's all right. Calm down. It's all good. If you have something else you want us to do, we'll do it. What exactly is it that you want us to do? What are you trying to want?
So what do you think, Mr. Bubbinsworth? Can these two work side by side with your informant on maybe try to dig up some information on this Twilight Cabal? I mean, it's the way I see it, from what I understand, we're lucky that we know about them, but I don't think that this is like general information that you're just going to find on the streets or in a library someplace. You know what I mean?
Yes, I understand completely. May I make a suggestion? We send these 2 individuals back to Erebor.
Mm-hmm.
It was the major city that we came to before we found directions to the monastery. And have them send word. I will, of course, write and script everything for them, letting my organization know where we're located. That way, any information they have obtained, they can get it to us quicker.
Okay.
We've kind of gone off the grid, so to speak.
Which I think is kind of a good thing.
Fair enough. If you are okay with that, that would be my recommendation.
I think that would be a good idea.
We may want to come up with a way to communicate. I do not know if I have a good answer for that. In other words, a forwarding address, per se?
I reached into my pocket. I said, here, I got something for you. Which one's the one that speaks normal? Is it Viper?
It's
or is it
Straight Jacket.
All right. So Straight Jacket. This is a Stone Ascending. I'm going to give this to you. when you need to contact me, you just speak my name and it'll send a message to me. I believe that's how that works.
All right, Gov. Sounds easy enough.
Don't lose it.
Is this a one-way?
I can't remember how that works.
Me neither. So this is a magic item that you have?
Yes.
All right, hold on.
I had it for, it's, the Zents gave it to me.
You have the Navel of the Moon, and you have one of 2 sending stones. So the question that you're asking is there a way to, because the Moon of the Navel has the ability to do the sending spell, and the sending stone is basically in a sense a sending spell. You want to know if there's a way to tie those two together. And the answer is possibly. Now, looking around the room, it currently does not seem that there's a way for the 4 of these characters to do it themselves. So an option may be to go out into the village and see if there's somebody who can help you with that. Another option is, of course, to see if there are 2 complete sets, a set of sending stones that are for sale. Mm-hmm. Or, last but not least, something else. I don't know what that is, but there's always, something else.
Mm-hmm.
What would you guys like to try to do?
Should we just see if they actually have a set we can purchase? And if they don't, then we can see if we can find somebody that can help reattune these 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't know how well equipped this village is when it comes to any sort of spell truckers, but you never know.
Well, let's mosey on in or go to the... Is there a marketplace in this village?
Absolutely. So the village is laid out before you here on the table. And if I remember correctly, under my finger here is the tavern that you're currently staying in. I will admit that my drawing of they kind of look like tents, but they're not. They're like awnings over, like a temporary awning, like you would set up like a tent without sides. Mm-hmm. And there are a couple other stores around this central marketplace. It's got a statue of some kind of what you assume is some kind of halfling god. And then, of course, there's the well. The place that, and you guys are currently aren't you haven't left the tavern yet, but you do know. I'm just describing what you do know outside of the tavern. That there is, to answer your question, the short answer is yes. You are right there in the middle of town, and outside that tavern is not a full-blown town or city of man, what's the word? You use the word.
Marketplace?
Oh, marketplace. Thank you. There are plenty of stores and shops around this village. Most of them just right outside the tavern.
Well, then, shall we go and see if we can't find a sending stone for these guys?
Sounds fair.
You guys go downstairs through the tavern. It's just as bustling and busy as it was before. Drinks are being served. Halflings are knee-deep in meat pies and whatnot. I'm assuming you're leaving your thugs behind?
Sure.
Okay. You step out onto the street, and it too is halflings running around carrying gourds of like a pumpkin, or pushing a cart full of grapes towards one of the areas where there's these big giant wooden vats with a small pole over them, and groups of halflings hanging onto the pole and stomping their feet in the middle of this and they sing a little halfling tune as they're doing it, right? Mm-hmm. all of a sudden, everything freezes. Even the light from the sun seems to, every little bit and ray of sun seems to come to a stop and disappear. And slowly before your eyes, everything other than the buildings themselves, every person, every creature melts. It's like being on some kind of trippy drug acid trip. The place goes dark. Above you, in the sky above, it's not just pitch black. It's like being out in the middle of the wilderness looking up at a night sky. The only light there is the twinkling of the stars. Everything else is just shrouded in darkness. I'm going to hit the pause button. Very frustrating because I keep hitting the... You would think by now I would know what button to hit, and I keep hitting the wrong buttons. But that's okay. One of these days I'll get it figured out. So... the sky above you is dark and black. Trillions of teeny little dots of light cover the night sky. Everything else around you is pitch black. Now, if I remember correctly, everybody in the party has night vision. So you can see what's 30 to 60 feet, depending on who we're talking to. Probably 60 feet for everybody here. Mm-hmm. Fair enough. As you look up in the night sky, you know how like when you look through like a piece of glass, like a marble, a glass marble, and you hold it up to a light and you move it across, you can see like the light bend in a weird way. It kind of comes deformed and then reshapes back towards whatever the center is. You can see this distortion of light, like a piece of glass moving across the night sky above you, bending the light as it moves. A brief couple of... and it's quick. It happens real quick as it moves across, and it's large. Probably 2 times the size of this room. Maybe even bigger. And at first, it's just real quick. It distorts that image above you. And then like a couple of brief seconds of afterwards, you hear the sound of whooshing wind up above.
Hold on. Weapons out, gentlemen. As
you look around in the darkness, they're not really like alleys, but the gaps in between these the way this map is laid out is kind of like in a ring, or more like a horseshoe. Is that because the village is kind of built into this hillside with all these, there's buildings and what have you, but there's also like all these little hobbit holes in the hillsides around, and little winding dirt paths up amongst them, cart trails and what have you. But in between some of the gaps of the actual physical buildings, at first it's very faint, and then it gets... I have a difficult time using the term bright, but it does get brighter, not to the point where it actually really illuminates anything, but it's like this sickly smoke, greenish color, like Pepto green, if you could think of that. In a big circle around this village, around you, you see all the various boxes and chests that holds all the phylacteries that are associated to you and cursed. And they kind of just hover there above the ground, maybe a good 3-4 feet above the ground. A voice comes to you from out of the darkness, a voice you're familiar with, a voice you have heard once before. I see that your persistence of living continues. I have been tasked to make sure that the life in your bodies is snuffed out. Last time I made the mistake of underestimating you. Not this time, no. Not this time. Today, I shall make sure that you all come to the brutal end that you deserve. For I am Grimhammer, Paladin of the Twilight Cabal. Now, you can't really tell where this voice is coming from. It's probably coming from somewhere over in that area. But on that note, I need everybody to roll for initiative.
Parlay.
Very well. I will recede my statement. Is there anything that you would like to do before we get to that point?
Before we roll initiative, I'll just speak out loud. I'll say, is it truly necessary that we fight again? Is there no other option?
I do not see any other option. And even if there was, I do not wish it so.
Jeez. All right, then.
As I understand it, the only way that my masters can obtain what is truly belongs to them, thus breaking the curse that you are so burdened with, is to kill you. Think of this as mercy.
From what I understand, if we destroy Asarak, the curse will be lifted as well.
You do understand that the Twilight Cabal are the followers, the devotees of Asarak himself.
I have also come into the information that some of those in the Twilight Cabal may not wish to serve in the Twilight Cabal.
You have heard nothing but lies. Lies, I say.
And like Paladin, you choose to believe everything you're told as well. So I guess we're even.
Are you saying that my masters and Asarak himself have lied to me?
What reason would they have to be truthful with you?
What reason would they have to lie to me?
It really strikes a pose.
I am their righteous fist, and you are the bodies I must punch. Ho-ho! You would be doing all of us a great service by taking your own life and ending it all now. But I understand that you do not have the fortitude to do that. Therefore, I am here to assist you.
Actually, I have too much hit points to do that.
What is this hit point you speak of?
That was legit. Here. 4 points of damage. 4 points of damage. Oh, it hurts. Can't keep going.
Is that all you would like to say?
Yeah, I was just
Buying yourself time?
not really buying myself time, but putting it out there because, you know, if per chance.
Sowing the seed, per se?
Yeah.
Do me a favor and roll perception.
30?
Get out of town.
I rolled a 18 and I got plus 12 to my perception.
Understood.
18 plus 12 is 30.
In this exchange between you and
Grimhammer,
thank you. You can tell as you progress and talk to him about this possible potential reality. You can hear the change in his voice as it goes from bravado to like a fake or false bravado. You can hear the sound of doubt as he's like, why would they lie to me? You can hear the sound of doubt in those words. You can tell that you have successfully sown the seed of
Doubt?
Doubt? Thank you. I was going to say distrust, but doubt's better. Thurander?
For initiative, I got a 24.
Geth.
18.
Brubing.
7.
What the? That's not a Nick. It's initiative.
And even though we've rolled initiative here, and this goes for everybody, it's not just the Rander, during combat, you can still converse. Okay? Give me a moment here to set up the initiative tracker.
Are you a claw machine or something?
Also, I have a question for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody have a problem with Bubbensworth and the antagonist going at the same time?
No.
Just for ease?
I believe you've done that before with the NPCs. That's the same way Nick's doing it for the Frost Maiden as well. I think.
That last session I didn't. But every other session that we've had, yes, I have made them go side by side.
Roland.
Roland!
Alright, so it's going to be Thrander, Geth, me, and then Brubane.
Yay!
So, Thrander, you are up first.
I will, I guess, move to an alleyway and stealth.
I'm going to need you to roll your stealth, please.
31.
Very nice.
17 plus 14.
He's all bragging. 17 plus 14. Man, what can I say, man?
I'm just,
Yep.
those are high numbers. I'm just verifying that you guys, it's all legit.
He's very sneaky, sir.
He's very perceptive. He's very persuasive, and he's very sneaky. That's a guy you can't trust.
Well,
Is there anything else you wanted to do during your
oh,
turn?
sorry. I will draw my bow and hold my action for Grimhammer to show himself.
Okay. It is now going to be Geth's turn.
So, what Geth's going to do is, you can tell he's getting ready to rage, except this time it's just different. He doesn't do the this time. He just stops, takes a breath, and just looks. And then you can just hear his breath changing, and then, like, anger filling through his eyes. You can see that he no longer has, like, control of himself, and he's going to swing immediately when he sees him. So now he's going to pull out his maul and hold his action.
You're going to hold your action. You're pulling out your maul, and the trigger is
When he appears, I'm going to...
when Grimhammer appears.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you still where you are here on the map?
Yes.
Okay. And Jerome, you've moved your character.
Correct. I'm in between those two buildings over there.
I kind of did it in, like, a challenging way.
Oh, okay. Is that the end of your turn?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. From above, you can hear the sound of air forcibly being moved. Like a large amount of it. It's like that kind of sound. It's not so much where it like shakes the ground, but the windows kind of rattle in their frame, right? If you were to look at the water in the well, you would see it ripple. And that distortion of space, of the sky above you, comes flying in. But just as it gets close to right above where the market is, all of a sudden it's like one of the stars flares, it flashes, and this blast of radiant starlight comes shooting down, like almost in like a cone, blasting the area. And it's going to be everybody except Thrander. I'm going to need everybody but Thrander to make a Dex save, DC 17. Yikes.
I have advantage on Dex versus Trap.
It's not a trap.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's strength ones. I get advantage on strength saves, that's why I didn't look.
What did you get, Brubane?
17 on the dot.
Nice. Geth?
It says it's advantage versus traps and spells. Dex saves.
This is not a trap or a spell. It is neither.
18.
Very good. Give me a moment to come up with the damage. Alright, so the total damage would be 33. Half of that's going to be 16.
This is radiant damage, right?
This is both radiant and fire damage.
Oh.
It is half of each.
Immune to fire.
Oh, well then you can take that number and have it again.
Sweet.
So 16, 8. You take 8 points of damage.
Radiant and fire? What the?
Exactly. Therander, roll me another perception, please.
I got a 22 on that roll.
Can you do me a favor?
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of like look over my wall. This is the vision that you see for a brief moment as it flies over, and then it stalls as it blasts the ground with this radiant / fire, this winged, almost ethereal night creature, as it blasts, and then it continues to swoop on. It did at that point come down about 30 feet. Its movement was about... So it moved like 40 feet, did the breath, and it was about 30 feet above the ground, and it kind of came down and did it. Kind of stalls as it does the blast, and then it went another 40 feet this way. Started over here, it's now over there. You can still see that distortion of space. Make sense?
Mm-hmm. The only question I have is, do I see Grimhammer riding it? You said we can talk during combat?
Absolute.
It's some type of a dragon. Split up and take cover. It's moving fast.
It is now Brubane's turn.
A dragon, you say?
Mr. Bubbinsworth doesn't want to do anything?
Yeah, Mr. Bubbinsworth. Sorry, I forgot. Mr. Bubbinsworth makes a dash action in that direction. As Mr. Bubbinsworth makes that dash... Well, actually, you can't do anything else, because that's an action and a movement.
Nick stands up how I feel.
All old?
Yeah.
Broken?
Yeah.
Soulless?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds about right.
Sounds about right. All right, so now it's going to be Brubane's turn.
Hand me that well.
No, do not hand me the well. Do not. I shall nuke you all from orbit.
You already are!
Yes.
Where's the chibi at then?
I have no idea.
My backpack.
What would you like to do, Brubane?
Brubane is actually going to try and find cover.
I would like to point out that the tent that is next to Geth is on fire. And this is actually giving some illumination in that general direction over there. And in the general area where Geth is standing.
Bless you.
Gazoon type.
Right on the corner right there. Thank you.
Is there anything else you'd like to do there, buddy?
So yeah, I summon my Firefox behind me. Everything doesn't do anything. It's just, I'm summoning it. I'm not going to hold my action or anything like that.
Right, the summoning was your action.
Summoning was my action.
And
Well,
and
summoning is not really... Oh, it's more like a bonus action.
Ah, gotcha.
But,
So you don't want to... You did a move. Mm-hmm. You did a bonus action. You don't want to do a hold action?
you know what?
You don't have to. There's no pressure.
like a diamond right now. It's so much pressure. You know what? I'm actually gonna hold a guiding bolt.
Okay.
So if I do catch a glimpse of, we'll say, the creature or whatever it is,
Yes.
then I will unleash
A guiding bolt on
a
it.
guiding bolt onto it.
I gotcha.
Righto.
Righto.
Hiya.
Is that the end of your turn?
That is the end of my turn.
All right, Thrander, you're up, buddy.
I will stay hidden, and I guess when I will change my hold action to when I see, or if I see the dragon again, I will fire upon it with my bow.
It's all fun and games until you shit yourself.
Oh, man.
I gotta go home.
Alright, I can't really reach it because of this. I'm gonna move up. I can reach him.
I can move you.
Yeah, move. Just move him closer to me and I can move him the rest of the way.
Well, where are you moving?
Over this way. Because you threw her all that way.
That's on fire right there.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take that one.
Well, so that's... Yes, it is. But that's not a tent. It's a cover.
It's
like an awning.
overhead.
So he could technically still run under it.
Hmm.
But yes, it is on fire, the whole thing. Good times.
I can still move up right here. And then I'm gonna put away the long bow javelin and then hold my action until I see it.
Okay. So you're holding your action. You've pulled out a bone javelin, and when you see the flying creature, aka according to Thrander, some kind of dragon, you're gonna throw at that. Mm-hmm. Which direction are you facing?
That way.
That way. Okay.
I'm like doing that head peek thing on that.
I got you. I understand completely. The creature comes out of the darkness. And it is still darkness. It's like watching the sky itself move within the sky. It is quite a trippy effect. And it comes swooping down towards the building. And you may all want to pay attention to this. It basically flies down, hits the building, and goes through it all the way across. So those two individuals, this one and that one, feel a force push through their physical being. It's like being hit by a truck that goes through you. I'm sorry, I gotta find where this is. I was just looking at it a moment ago. Oh, here you go. So that means the two of you take 5 points of force damage. However, if I remember correctly, Thrander first. Thrander, you're looking up in the sky, and you see this creature diving in your general direction, and you're like, I'm safe in between these two buildings. Until for a moment it disappears, and then very quickly you see it come flying out through the wall. The building still intact, slamming into you. But there's a brief second, Thrander. It's not even a second. It's not a 1001. It's a fraction of that. But because you were holding your action, you get to go. And on that note, after the fact, Brubing, you will have exactly the same opportunity.
I will fire the arrow at it.
So as it's flying down and you're tracking it with that arrow, you kind of lower the bow, wondering where out in front of you, but that brief second you just were able to snap up your bow right before it slammed into you and get a single shot off.
Hit armor class 22.
Can you give me any description on the bow and arrow, please?
So I am using an arcane shot fired from a +1 longbow.
Perfect. That's exactly what I needed to know. Go ahead and roll your damage.
When this arrow strikes its target, conjuration magic creates grasping, poisonous brambles which wrap around the target. The creature hit by the arrow takes an extra 2d6 poison damage. Its speed is reduced by 10 feet, and it takes 2d6 slashing damage the first time on each turn it moves, 1 foot or more without teleporting. The target or any creature that can reach it can use its action to remove the brambles with a successful strength athletics check against my arcane shot, save DC. Otherwise, the brambles last for 1 minute or until you use this option again.
You will need to separate the poison damage out for me.
Okay. That's going to be 7 poison.
7 points of damage.
And the slashing damage from the brambles is 9.
Is that it?
I guess I'll fire a regular arrow for a second shot.
As you are firing the second arrow, you are actually, let's back this up now. So it's flying down. You hit it with the bramble shot, and the arrow hits, and all these brambles immediately from its front of its face and its nose start. This is all happening very quickly. You can see them start to spread across its face, right? By the way, what's the AoE area of effect on that?
It doesn't have an AoE.
Okay, all right, that's fair.
It's just whatever. It just basically surrounds the target is all it says. It doesn't. There's no size specification or anything. Just whatever target is hit gets surrounded by the brambles.
Can you read me a description just to make sure I'm doing this right?
Let's see here. When this arrow strikes a target, conjuration magic creates grasping poisonous brambles which wrap around the target. And then it just goes into the damage explanation after that.
Okay.
So basically,
does it say anything about restricting movement?
If it, where is it at?
Mm-hmm.
Its speed is reduced by 10 feet, and it takes 2d6 slashing damage the first time on each turn it moves 1 foot or more without teleporting.
Okay. As it's flying down, and it passes through the building, and its face starts coming out of the wall, you quickly get that shot off, hitting it in the face, and the brambles immediately start to not only spread across its face, but shoots of the brambles actually sprout very quickly and hit the ground. But because of its momentum and speed, it continues to move forward, slamming into you, which is you're taking that damage, and as you are, in a sense, passing through it, you can try to get another shot off while you're within the body of this thing.
Okay. Gotcha. Hit armor class 30.
That will definitely hit.
That's going to be 10 points of damage. And I don't have +1 arrows, it's just a +1 bow. If that's... just to clarify.
That's fair. Thank you for the heads up. Because of what you did, its action is actually going to have to change, and you are not going to take this damage. As the creature is now passing, or you're kind of actually, it's passing through you or you passing through it, it's highly debatable. Mm-hmm. But everybody hears all of a sudden this rushing sound of air being sucked into a pocket. Kind of like but louder, much louder, like a crack, like a thunderous crack. And the creature disappears. It's not like it popped like a balloon. It's like it's disappeared, and then all of a sudden all this massive amount of air around it gets sucked into a point, which is actually right where you are. Boom! It's like this thunderclap. And the whole area around you, just dust and wind blowing up around you, kind of like as if a huge gust of wind had blown through the alley. Thus ending both of your turns.
Okay.
Geth, as you're looking out across the way, and you actually you're actually kind of looking through the flames or underneath the flames of this canopy in his general direction. Keeping in mind you couldn't really see him because he's super stealthed, but you did see that creature kind of fly down, and you saw it passing through the buildings. Two things. You were holding your action. You can see the creature, so before it pops out of existence, go ahead and throw one of your javelins. But while you're in the act of throwing that javelin, you hear something from behind you.
20 to hit.
A 20 is good. Describe to me these javelins. Are they magical?
They're just a regular javelin, but they're made out of bone. It was from those,
I know, I remember. I just couldn't remember if they're magical or not.
Oh, yeah, no, they're not magical.
Okay.
21 points of damage.
Thrander. Again, pass through, you take damage, you get 2 arrow shots off. Bang of thunder, and just a split second after that, this bone javelin comes flying, whistling through the air, right across the bridge of your nose, missing you, hitting nothing, landing in the alley. Geth, you could have swore you hit it. Even before it disappeared, you're sure that it had made contact. It took about this amount of damage. For those listeners who can't see me waving my hand in the air, pretending like I'm writing a number down, that's what I'm doing. Okay? After you throw the javelin, and you see that it had no effect on this creature that then just disappears out of existence, that noise you heard before you're able to whip around, unfortunately not in enough time, as this individual who was not too quiet comes up behind you in plate mail, and you recognize him. You have run into this guy before. Grimhammer takes a swing at you. He basically charged up behind you. He too has a maul, by the way. This maul, you've seen this maul before. It's got, see this face somewhere around here? It's got that face on the front of the maul, like this demon head with a big giant gaping mouth.
Yeah, it's right there. I see it.
Your armor class is 18 currently?
21.
How's it 21? Do you have your shield?
No, it just says 21 because without the shield, it's 21.
Okay. I need to make some changes here. Because I got 18 and 20.
It should have been updated because he got, what was it, those bracers of armor class?
Yeah.
Because he doesn't wear armor.
Is it 21 and 23 now? Okay, I got it now. The first swing misses you. However, the second swing hits you with a 24. That's 8. Alright, you're going to take 15 points of bludgeoning damage. However, I believe that's halved because you're raging. Is that correct?
Yep.
Additionally, you would take an additional 8 points of necrotic damage, but you have a ring of resistance. You're going to take half of that.
16.
Okay.
Yep, 16 damage total.
Okay. Mr. Bubbensworth pulls out his bow, and he holds his action. Actually, hold on. Actually, what Mr. Bubbinsworth does is he drops a hunter's mark. He can see across, Mr. Bubbinsworth can see across the lane, and because Geth is shadowed with the fire behind him, he can also see Grimhammer in front of him, and launches a volley of arrows right over Geth's shoulders at Grimhammer.
Give him a volley.
Gives him a volley. The first one hit, the second one does not. So Geth, even in your rage, you can see two arrows go flying past you, one on either side of your shoulders. One kind of just goes whizzing off, and you can hear that whistle of an arrow going by. It kind of whizzes off in front of you and past Grimhammer, but the second one hammers right into Grimhammer's shoulder. And now it's going to be Brubane's turn.
Oh. So I take it I would only be able to hear going on over there. Not see.
From your position, you can kind of make out, but you cannot make out Grim. You can kind of make out Geth, but just barely. You cannot see Grimhammer. You do see from over here those two arrows whizzing through and past Geth. You were also able to see the creature that came out of the sky, but before it got to you, it somehow disappeared. But you also heard the thunderous crack of whatever that was. Nice slide.
Hey, y'all.
Taking out Geth.
Actually, Nick, can you do me a favor?
No.
And put this in front of Geth since you're already over there. Thank you very much.
Hey, y'all.
Oh, good. It hurts.
Not yet.
No, it hurts right now. I made a dash.
You make a dash action to get there?
I make a dash action to get where I'm at.
Okay.
Ending my turn.
Okay.
Okay.
The highly flammable cloth of this canvas tarp top is quickly it's on fire, but it's quickly starting to
I would imagine probably because how much time do you think would go on by?
around is 6 seconds.
6 seconds. Yeah, I mean, a lot of that
So we're
cloth and everything like that has been burned away. It's now
we're-
getting to the woody bits.
it's getting the woody bits. It's been about 12 seconds now.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
It does kind of open the path to you.
Yeah.
The light dims down, but there's still enough fire on the stakes.
Mm-hmm.
The woody bits, as you so elegantly
The
put it,
woody bits.
that it still is illuminating this area.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi.
Is that it?
That's it, bud.
Okay. Thurander?
I was just trying to dig up some information to see if non-magical projectiles fired from a magical bow.
I am counting them as they do.
Okay.
From
what I saw
If I may, sir, if I may.
Yes, by all means, please.
So we'll use Caddy Bree as an example. When she uses Tomaril, she literally is using just regular bows,
Arrows.
and arrows. And when she fires them, the bow is what imbues the magic into the arrow, and then
That's how I'm interpreting it.
Gotcha.
Now, however, I give you liberty to describe the effect. How's that?
Okay.
Okay. But the way when you read me the damage and said it was a regular arrow and it was so many points of damage, I took the full damage.
Okay.
Okay.
I was just checking because, to be honest, I had never thought about that, and I was like, you know what, I should probably bring that up and get clarification because the more clarification I get on what my character is capable of doing, the easier it is for me to plan my attacks and to decide what weapons to use.
But Nick's description was perfect. That's how I see it in my head.
Gotcha. And to be honest, everything I saw online said the same thing.
Yes.
Because at 7th level for Arcane Archer, you actually pick up the ability to fire magical arrows from a mundane bow. It's called the magic arrow ability.
Right.
So I was like, okay, well, that's for projectiles, but what about if you already have a magic bow?
Right.
So, and knowing that I can turn regular arrows to magical by firing them from a magical bow kind of actually has bearing on whether I'm going to put a level in Arcane Archer or if I'm going to keep leveling up Rogue. So now that that's been
established,
then I can make a good decision. So,
no problem.
Because it's not like you're going to go up and whack somebody with your bow and be like, oh yeah, plus
yeah.
one.
Exactly.
No, I got you. I got you. I just wasn't sure if like ranged weapons were specifically had that +1 bonus to give it that +1 to accuracy and damage is all. That was the only thing.
I smell what you're saying.
But thank you for clarifying.
Yeah, don't look at me like that.
Your breath is stanky.
Wow.
That's pretty much what Pat just said.
It didn't make any sense. I regret everything that I just said came out of my mouth.
Let's see here. Okay, I'm going to move. Oh, actually, I can't do that. I only got 35, so I'm going to move there, and I'm going to crouch down and attempt to hide.
Okay.
And I'm going to wait and see if the serpent makes another pass, and then I'll fire on him.
Okay.
Not very good on stealth that time. I only got a 19.
Gotcha.
Not very good that time, he says.
Well, you got to understand, being a rogue, the certain skills that I decided to do my double specialization in, it's going to be stealth, it's going to be perception, and it's going to be acrobatics.
I would still say 19 is still pretty darn high. But
Well, for
Yeah,
what he's capable of.
yeah, for what he's capable of doing, I understand completely. Like if you're not above 30, man, I don't know
Well,
why.
what you got you got to understand, when you roll a 5 on a d20, usually that's not a good roll. So I count it as such.
Wow.
You roll a 5.
Is that the end of your turn there?
Yeah, I'm holding action in case the dragon comes in for another swoop. I'll fire on him again.
I understand.
So I was just I'm trying to stick and move, basically.
Yeah. I get the logic. I totally follow where you're coming from.
Trying to get a flank.
Geth?
Oh, it's
I'm
nice
gonna
playing
grab my
only one
maul
character.
and swing on him 3. I'm gonna grab my maul and swing on him 3 times.
The reckless berserker, or not reckless? What kind of berserker? Or you're the berserker barbarian, right?
22 to hit.
22 is going to be a hit.
18 points of damage on the first swing. For the first swing. 18 on the second attack.
Does it? No, he said 18 to hit for the second,
Yeah.
not 18 damage.
Gotcha.
And it hits.
Okay. No, 18 does not hit.
That's
then
what
I'll
he was.
swing. I'll swing again.
I was still doing the damage from the
Oh.
first hit.
Gotcha.
And then a 28 on the third swing.
That would be a hit.
Doing 18 more points of damage.
Hey, yo.
Okay, I got it. Anything else there, Geth?
No.
Okay.
What the?
Pretty good.
They are good, but you're gonna
Not
have
too
to
shabby.
you're gonna have to lift extra weights now.
The only 2 people who see what is about to be spoken is Thorander and Mr. Bubbinsworth. Above where Brewbane is, generally, not specifically, but in the general air above him, you see space from a single point, like a singularity, unfold. And it's very rapid, but you see space unfold, like the unwrapping of space being opened before you. And this massive, giant, large creature of the physical night sky itself then begins to plummet down towards the earth in the general direction of Brubane and Geth. And there's but a moment as you are pulling up your weapon and getting ready to shoot where you can see a little bit of starlight in its chest area grow and start to move towards the mouth. To you, it's all happening very fast, but to you it's in slow motion as you're slowly bringing up your weapon. You know that another blast of this starlight is about to come, but because you were holding your action, you get to go first.
Okay. Does the creature know that I'm there?
It does not appear to know that you are there.
The only reason why I'm asking is since I'm in stealth, I'll get advantage.
In this case, you do have advantage.
Okay. And for double clarification, since it's been a while since I've attacked with my bow from stealth, is it one attack from stealth at advantage and then the rest are normal?
That is correct.
Okay. So let's see. I hit armor class 29.
That would be a hit.
This is a regular arrow.
From a magic bow?
Yes.
Just checking.
Yeah. That's going to be 11 points of damage. I will fire a second arrow. Ooh, this one might have missed. Hit armor class 19.
That'll hit.
For 7 points of damage. And since I see that it is getting ready to breathe on my comrades, I will use my second arcane shot for the day, and I will hit it with another grasping arrow.
Okay.
And I'm also I'm doing that with an action surge.
You normally get 2 shots?
Yes.
If you get another 2 shots then.
So the grasping arrow does armor class 28.
That is definitely a hit.
And you said to do the poison damage separate.
Yes, please.
So it's going to take 5 poison.
Okay.
And 9 slashing as it starts to get the brambles around it.
Just for our listeners, why everybody's chuckling is because I wrote the damage in midair and not on paper, so everybody was laughing.
For the poison.
For the poison, yes.
It's immune to poison like we are. And the final shot is armor class 21.
That would be a hit.
For an additional 13 points of damage. So basically his movement will be slowed from the brambles and he will continue to take 2d6 every round unless he breaks free or teleports.
As this creature's... plummeting is not even really a good word. It basically folded its wings in.
Dive bomb. And
kind of like did the spiraling dive bomb. It's both terrifying and beautiful to watch this folded space, this spiral. It's almost like looking through one of those kaleidoscopes of space as it bullets towards the ground. Arrow after arrow slams into this creature. And the third one, of course, being that bramble shot. And as it's falling, the brambles ahead of it faster, almost like in the blink of an eye, you see these roots kind of shoot off as it's covering its body, shoot off and launch into the ground, trying to find purchase, thus anchoring this creature and slowing its movement, right? That happens. The other person who was holding their... No, actually he went, so you were the only one. Yeah. I need...
Not perfect. Bad.
Nick, or I'm sorry, Brubane, Geth, your fox, if it can take any damage, needs to also make this dex save. The DC is 12 or 17. Blech.
Don't forget you got a ring of evasion.
That's true too.
Somebody's kibitzing over there, but all right.
He said we could talk during combat.
You can. Does your character actually yell that out?
You have a ring of evasion.
Don't forget, you have a special ring. Yeah, if your player character wants to kibitz.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, nice cover. All right. What'd you get?
So I got nat 20.
Nat 20 on your save.
And then my fox got... Oh, my God, here we go.
While he's figuring that out, Geth. Math is hard.
18.
All right,
Sometimes.
so we're still waiting to hear from the fox. But while he's figuring that out, I will start figuring out damage.
19.
Okay, so everybody made their save. That's going to be 8, 9, and 17. That's going to be 27, 29, 30. So again, it's a total of 33 points of damage. Half of that's going to be 16. Half of that is fire. So 33, 16, and 8 is the damage breakdown. However, I need both Brubane and his fox to make me another dex save.
Okay. Ring of evasion! Okay. I guess what?
What do you get?
So Brubane got a 16, and then the fox got a 17.
Okay. As this creature's coming down, right, and it starts to breathe this, I don't even know it's like a breath, or maybe it's not, like some kind of cone of radiant fire star damage comes shooting out of its mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And as you guys are rolling out of the way, you actually have to, and successfully do, a double roll out of the way. Because as it's coming down and breathing, and you see these arrows are shooting up, one of them not only hits it and starts these brambles going around its body, but then start hitting the ground. And where the creature would then normally try to do a bank, it actually slams in the ground right where the two of you were standing.
Oh, wow.
Boom! Just a huge, thunderous crash into the ground. The two of you just barely successfully getting out of the way, leaving this huge indention into it. Literally just left like a crater. Bam! And you wipe the sweat off of your brow, going, "That could have been ugly."
Oh, look at the back of Nick's hat.
He's like, "Send it."
That's legit, dude. I didn't see that till now. That's
You were
fucking
wearing
awesome.
that- you were wearing that last week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he always had it forward, so I never saw the back. That's fucking awesome. Send it.
Send it. And as it crashes into the ground, another 2 arrows come shooting out of this area into the now grounded creature.
Heads. Oh, sorry, too late. Get it?
Heads! Oh, too late. Let's see here. One of those hits. Okay. One of those arrows actually slams into the creature, the other one misses. And then Geth, standing before you, Grimhammer, pulls back on his maul as he gets ready to swing on you. And for a moment there, you see, normally you knew that there was this life-draining effect, right? But intermixed with that is this sickly green light as it starts to flare up on the maul itself. Both times he hits you. All right, so that's 9. That's 16. So for the first swing, you would take 16 points of damage, but you can half that to 8. You would take an additional 5 points of necrotic damage, which you can half that to 2. For the second swing, you're going to take an additional 17 points of damage, but you can half that to 8. And then the last swing is going to be for 4 points of necrotic damage, but you can have that to 2.
So, a total of 20 points of damage.
Okay. That will end the monster and Bubbinsworth's turn. It is now going to be Brubane's turn.
Bruben.
Okay.
Ah, is that so?
I'm going to pull out a Scorching Ray onto Grimhammer.
Okay.
Pulls
Okay.
it out of his pocket.
Opens up a pouch.
Hiya!
What?
Key, y'all!
There you go.
3 times.
Wow.
Kaya, kaya, kaya.
Looks like Viva asked the questions.
Okay. Nice. So, first one is going to be a 18 to hit.
On him, it's
Yeah.
going to be a miss.
It's going to be a miss.
Yes.
Okay. So the next one is going to be a 22.
That will hit.
That will hit.
Yes.
Be great. Sit. Sure. All right. 4. Oh my God! He finally puts the pawn out there.
I did.
Jesus.
Wow.
Bless you.
So there's one time at band camp, right?
No.
Wow. Stay. Beauty miss. So he takes 25 points of fire damage on the first, or what would have been the second attempt. And the next one was 20 to hit.
A 20 will hit.
Okay.
The target number is 19.
Okay.
Is that right? Sure.
I don't know. I'm just a DM.
That's right. What do I know?
Uh, 18 points of fire damage on the last one.
Okay, so 25 and 18.
25 and 18. Is that the actual like pitcher or?
Not exactly, but it's very,
Similar.
very close.
Okay.
And for a very good reason. We can talk about that later.
Okay.
So, it is now Thurander's turn, followed by Geth. Are you charging?
Yeah.
Okay. good
I'm a
job.
close combat guy. I'm not really a bow guy. I use the bow, but...
I gotcha.
So, since I'm not planning on disengaging or dashing or anything, I'm going to use my bonus action to put my bow on my back. And then, since I have the 2 weapon fighting, I'm going to draw both my dagger and my rapier. And...
As you charge up,
Uh-oh.
I need everybody to make a con save.
He's going to blow!
Poisonous gases.
Hey, y'all.
Thurander.
28.
Nice. Geth.
22.
Brubane.
21 for Brubane. And 17 for the fox.
Well, ain't that some dog poo?
Where?
Everybody's successful except for Mr. Bubbinsworth.
Mm-hmm.
Thurander, go ahead and finish your turn there. So as you're charging forward, this ripple of space kind of pulses out, and everybody, for but a brief moment, feels this wave of nauseousness go through them. All of you were able to fight that off, but you can hear over back in this area on the map a for those of you who will take but a second to bother to look over there, Mr. Bubbinsworth is in full coughing up a hairball, kind of his back's all arched over and he's just horking.
He's got cat back.
He's got cat back.
Brubane just belches it out.
He just belches it out. Burp. So go ahead, Thrander. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Spicy.
That's a spicy burrito right there.
2 rapier and 1 dagger attacks.
Okay.
Snickety snick snick.
That's right. Give it to him.
Red one's the dagger. Oh, wait. He's prone, isn't he?
No.
Oh, he's not?
No.
Because I know you said he had crash landed.
Yes.
I was just asking.
He's not laying on the ground.
He's not all like...
Yeah, no.
Gotcha. Okay, so...
Imagine if I were to stand on a 20-floor building and throw a cat off, and the cat were to land on its feet. But also be immensely larger.
Gotcha. Okay, so let's see. I got armor class 16, 19, and 29.
16, 19, and 29. The 16 does not hit.
Okay, so that's going to be 1 dagger hit and 1 rapier hit.
Okay.
And both of those are magical weapons.
Yep.
And we are looking at a combined damage of 17 points of damage total.
Okay.
And that is my turn.
Very well. Geth?
I am going to use Relentless Attack on him. I have advantage on attacking him. He has advantage attacking me next turn.
Gotcha.
And I'm going to swing on him 3 times.
Sounds like a plan.
First swing. 20 to hit.
Target number is 19.
Yeah, that's a hit. It's over there kibitzing still.
15.
You said it, bro.
15 points of damage.
I'm sorry, how much?
15.
15.
I was just saying it so you didn't have to repeat yourself.
Well, that's very appreciative. Net 20. That's a crit, buddy. Crit that damage. Crit it.
Oh.
No, that's what I said.
6, 8, 10.
You know why Jerome actually called out that was a hit? Because he's practicing. He's getting ready to be the DM. He's practicing his that's a hit move.
That's scary, man.
26 points of damage.
Now, to be silly, I'll have to do it through NPCs.
Okay.
And then on my last swing.
Huh?
18 to hit. Wait. Nope, 28 to hit.
There's a huge difference between
Wait.
18 and 28.
Yeah.
Jeez.
28.
Yeah, a 28 hits there, buddy. Jeez.
Oh, no.
Doing 15 points of damage.
Okay, I got it. Anything else? So these are two hard-hitting, maul-using, and Geth is just over there, like, whack-a-moling this guy. You can hear that hammering on the armor. There's a ba-tang, ba-tang, ba-tang. And this guy's just like slamming into Geth, but it's like 2 stakes being slapped together.
Jeez. No, don't do it. You need to get one of those girls that claps her cheeks on TikTok.
No.
Okay.
Let's not do that.
That sounds like two snakes.
Something horribly wrong with that.
No, it's not.
Anywho.
Both are very delicious. Oh my god.
I'm telling you, that's not how you treat a steak.
If you're tenderizing it. Just stop no more, dude.
You stop.
I can't help it. You're like alley-ooping me here on this. Here's another one, Rome's, go for it.
Elliot?
Oh, you're totally setting me up for the dunk every time, man.
Oh my goodness gracious. Gath, is that your whole...
How many attacks did you do?
You did
3.
3.
Okay.
You broke Nick. That's a laugh out of him. I don't think I've ever heard that. What the hell was that? What the hell was that, Nick?
I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't even.
I'm trying to breathe in.
Dude, I spit on my character sheet. I was laughing so hard.
All right.
Turns bad.
This creature before you, the Rander, whips around. And it's as it whips around, it's actually I need to roll another die here real quick. Nope. As it whips around, one of its claws comes whipping around, taking a swipe at you. And with a 25,
Yes.
it slams into you. And as you stagger, its elongated, massive head takes a snap at you. And with a 16, I believe that's a miss.
Yes.
And then it follows through with, as it's swinging around, that second claw comes around for a 22.
2 hits.
2 hits.
I will use Uncanny Dodge on one of those to halve the damage.
Okay. I will let you pick which one you want to do.
Okay.
Do you have any immunity or resistance to cold?
No. Holy shit, man. This guy's got all kinds of stuff. He's breathing fire and radiance. He's cold damage. Immune to poison. I don't like this dragon.
All right, so the first swing from the slashing damage is 7 points of damage, plus another 14 points of cold damage.
So that's a total of 21.
The second swing that hits you does 11 points of slashing damage and 12 points of cold damage.
So, I'm assuming the way this would work, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I would just be having the slashing damage. The cold damage is like an added
Yes.
bonus. It's like the icing on the cake, so to speak.
Yes.
So then I'll choose to have the 11.1.
Okay. And then, as it's whipping around and doing all these attacks, you see it. It's all in one rotating motion. As it starts to, and this all happens very quickly, it folds in on itself. And again, you hear this.
Serious?
What can I say? Pat likes his little teleporting creatures.
And time stopping.
So far, we've only seen that once.
So far.
So far.
But it's twice now that he has teleporting creatures.
Unfortunately for Mr. Bubbinsworth, he still does not make his con save. And the retching continues on. Geth.
Yes.
Geth, I'm going to need you to make me a charisma save.
18.
Son of a...
That's what you get. I'm gonna let you kill me today.
He's all, I'm gonna let you kill me today.
I'm gonna let you kill me today. You see Grimhammer. Basically, he it's not a curse. He basically says, I am tired of you. I banish you to another plane. And for a moment there, Geth, your form starts to distort. And you can feel a pulling and a coldness as your very existence is being pulled into and out of this existence into another one. But through your rage and your anger, you actually take a step forward, pulling yourself away from this force, preventing it from sucking you into this other dimension. And you, for a brief moment in the side of your eye, saw this other dimension out of the peripheral. Even though it wasn't really there, it never existed. You, for a brief moment, saw a bleak nothingness. However, you were successful in fighting off this quote-unquote banishment. It is now going to be Brubane's turn.
Again with another Scorching Ray.
Okay. You're shooting the Scorching Ray at the
Grimhammer.
Grimhammer.
Since I no longer see whatever this dragon is.
That is correct.
So the first one is a 21.
That will be a hit.
23 points of fire damage.
Brubane.
Huh.
Make it merciless.
Make it merciless.
Oh.
As he hears him saying, I am tired of playing with you and everything, and he tries to banish him, Brubane does his chant. His fingers like this. Well, I guess he wouldn't do that. Now he'll just fire it out of his hand like such.
Like a forward claw?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And he will say, I believe we are tired of your games. This beam of just this fiery light just goes right to him, hitting him like right here.
In the throat?
And just scorching through. And then he drops low.
As Grimhammer's limp, lifeless body crumbles to the ground, everything around you starts to melt, including the darkness and the shade, being replaced by light. Where before there was nothing, all of a sudden, materializing around you, halflings appear. The huge divot in the ground no longer exists. The top of that tent that was burnt away is replaced, like nothing, untouched and unscathed. The sounds of a bustling village come rushing towards you. You find yourself standing in the middle of the town square, surrounded by halflings who, very startlingly, jump back as if you had just appeared and materialized, half scaring them. They give you a wary eye. They don't curse at you, but they kind of you could see there's this look like, he wasn't there a second ago. How did he get there? But then they just kind of walk around you the whole time, giving you these weird looks, where the hell did they come from?
Tell me that I got a firefox sitting next to me.
Is his body there, or is his body gone too?
His body is gone too.
I was gonna grab his maul.
Yeah, it left the last time you fought him.
And they did.
You don't want that thing. It does necrotic damage. We need radiant damage.
It's true.
If you're gonna hit a lich, you don't want to hit with a necrotic weapon.
Oh God, thank you so much. hit me again.
Well, I was gonna keep it. And then it was gonna be like,
This guy's out of control over here. Out of control. You could hear the dirty cackling, the giggling. He said, "Hit me."
I was gonna keep it. Pat, I was thinking about just keeping it, and then when they send another guy after us, just throwing the ball at him, being like, "That's what happened to the last guy who came after us."
Whoa! So much anger.
That's pretty legit.
Just.
So you were standing there. Hold on one second. Mr. Bubbinsworth finally is able to compose himself.
Poor guy.
He's like wiping his chin and the stuff around his lips of where he was hacking up. He kicks some dirt on some of the hacked up fur balls on his yak, and slowly walks into the center of the square with the rest of you. Well, that was a less than pleasant experience. I do not wish to do that again. However, I will duly note it in my book. I've never encountered such a creature as that before. It was quite interesting. It is too bad that we were not able to gather, I don't know, maybe a piece, a part, an appendage.
I don't even know if that would have even been possible. The way it moved through buildings and everything.
Well, we should consider ourselves lucky.
Right then, who's hungry?
I believe we had an errand that we were running. Am I not correct?
Yeah, we're gonna try and find some sending stones. Gets all tired. Comes out of his rage. He's like, "It's nap time."
As you guys proceed, not very far from where you just had your combat, you do find a little shop with a sign hanging over the doorway. And it says, The Arcane Halfling. The door is quite short, but with a little bit of effort on everybody's part, you should be able to fit through and inside.
He's gonna get stuck.
Do you wish to wait outside, Geth, or do you attempt to go in?
I'll just sit down. Wait outside.
Okay.
Not one of those little halfling stools.
Just a tiny little halfling stool with this giant barbarian.
My knees are...
His knees are up on his shoulders. As the rest of you enter, it's quite a quaint little hobbit hole. But it's got, various shelves. It's very quite clean. The shelves aren't packed either. But like you'll have a shelf with just a couple of items of bric-a-brac, and then another shelf intersparingly dispersed across this area. And you can tell that there's probably a home. This is a shop front. There's probably a home coming back behind it. You can actually smell food being cooked and bread being baked coming from the back. As you enter through the hobbit door, there's a little bell that bring that's attached to the door, letting the people within inside know that someone has entered through the door. And out comes a sprightly little curly-haired female halfling bounding from whatever area in the back. Well, good day. Well met. Come on, come inside. Is there something? Oh, brave adventurers you look. You look the type. You do look the type. Am I right? Adventurers, mercenaries?
Yes.
Oh, or do I dare say, cutthroats? Doesn't matter. I'm just kidding. It doesn't matter. What is it that you're looking for?
You wouldn't happen to have
battle axe,
sending
armor.
stones, would you?
Sending stones. Yes. Let me check. And she goes around the counter and she opens a book, probably an inventory book, and she starts looking. Let's see how lucky you are. Did you see his head? His head's like, I'm not very lucky. This is gonna suck. I do happen to have some sending stones.
Excellent.
Now, what are you willing to pay for them?
Really, you don't have a price on your own inventory?
I
What kind of business you running here?
Trying to get an idea of what you're willing to spend. Haven't you ever haggled, dear dwarf? Do they not haggle where you come from?
Only a halfling.
30 gold.
It is an art.
No, first you
I
give
would-
a price, and then you freaking
No.
have them haggle for it.
No, good sir. That's not how one does the art.
Well, fine then.
Of course, a dwarf wouldn't understand.
I've never haggled for anything in my life.
I'll give you 30 silver.
An insult? Obviously, you're serious.
so there is a price on them then. Go ahead, tell us.
Well, it's out. If you think it's worth 30, it's out of your price range. I'm sorry.
Oh. So you think I have 30 silver? But you told me to give you a price. I gave you one. Now,
It was
go ahead and let's haggle.
Okay, well, what are you willing to give him for?
Oh, sir. All right.
35.
I'll start off with
silver.
5 gold pieces then.
5 gold pieces. 5. For
Five.
these matching magical stones that allow you to converse with another person anywhere in the known multiverse. And you want to give me 5 gold pieces. I took you for adventures. I thought you understand how the world works. I was wrong. I am sorry. You have come to the wrong place. I just assumed that dwarves were masters of haggling. I had obviously heard incorrectly.
Well, it seems like you're just pulling my chain. Now give me a price, and we'll haggle.
Well, since we're dealing with the absurd, you give me no choice but to follow suit.
Enough of this and more of this.
3,000 gold. Did you find that insulting? Did you find that absurd? Then you understand where I'm coming from.
There's no dealing with these. Right? You want? I'll do it. I got a bloody heartbeat.
Look at the hand signal he's giving me. Did you see what he did?
You don't know Thieves' Cant. Do you know Thieves' Cant?
No.
Well, then you don't know.
I might have seen him do this a couple times before.
So he's mocking you. He's mimicking you.
He wants me to kill her.
I know what the hand signal stands for.
Okay.
Murder, assassination.
Obviously, we stopped on the wrong foot here. My name is Brubane.
Brubane, it's nice to meet you.
And you are correct, we are adventurers. Now, if you would kindly, please, give me a price of what you believe those stones you're selling are.
3,000 gold.
Are sending stones.
Yeah, they're sending stones.
See? Small little villages like this. Go ahead, lad. Give her a little bit of the shoulder tattoo.
Shoulder tattoo? I'm sorry, I'm remiss, but my name is Auroria. Eroria.
Eroria?
Eroria Twilight Beam. Of the Twilight Beam family.
Let me ask you a question, Eroria. Do you do business with Darkhold?
I think it's possible that people who are going or coming from Darkhold might come through here, yes. Are you willing to haggle, my good friend?
Bless you.
Or are you just going to leave it up all to this
Go
individual
ahead.
who doesn't know anything about haggling?
Shit. I don't know anything about haggling.
Apparently not.
Jeez.
Do you
I
only-
give her a price,
Let me
but you
put
want to
you-
give me the actual price.
I guess-
3,000 gold.
Just has you're up to the door.
I didn't get into this business because I enjoy the buying and selling of magical items, I find joy in haggling. It's what brings me happiness. A good haggle is like a chess match.
You're doing it all wrong. Go ahead, lad. Give it a wee swing.
Said the dwarf who wanted to offer me 5 gold. I'm doing it all wrong.
I'm afraid the best I could do is 75 gold.
Unfortunately, my good friend, your name?
Thurander.
Thurander, nice to meet you. You seem a little bit civil. Unfortunately, 75 is definitely way short. The best out of the gate that I could do, my best offer, 500 gold.
Geth like swings over the door and he just like crouches in, gets it, just stands up, and walks.
You cannot stand up in here.
Well, I'm crouching. I just walk towards the front and I go 150, and I just stare at her.
Well, aren't you a biggin? What's your name?
Geth.
Geth. Of course your name is Geth. What other name could a big giant like you could have? Such a small name for such a large man. Geth. Well, Geth, it's nice to meet you. For you, 400 gold.
250.
Look at this guy, man.
250. 350. That's my best and final offer. Anything less than that, you would be robbing me.
Should do that anyway.
Don't make me call the constable on you, dwarf. I know you said it in jest. You have such a horrible sense of humor. All dwarves do.
Great. Nick pulls out the Book of Grudges.
How do you spell that last name again, there, lass?
Twilight Beam. It's spelled just like it sounds.
There we go, for future reference.
Book of Grudges, huh?
It was a joke.
I know.
I don't know.
I remember the joke.
280.
280?
I'm just still staring at her the whole time.
If I sold this to you for 280, I would be losing money. 325.
290.
You're killing me. 300, we got a deal.
Fine.
291. And then 1 copper.
In one copper.
In 1 copper. 291 in 1 copper.
I'm just sitting out there. I'm sitting out there for a week just painting copper, gold, just...
You cough up 300 gold. Now, dwarf, that's how you do it.
Bah.
Bah.
I hope you were taking notes.
Oh, certainly. only our names. Oh, I'm so sorry. I guess I learned nothing.
That's unfortunate, dear dwarf. Is there anything else I can do for you, gentlemen?
I don't think so.
Why the hell are we making him do it? We should have made Moneybags do it.
Who's Moneybags?
Button-up shirt over here.
Oh, Mr. Bubbinsworth?
Does Bubbinsworth have the money?
I don't know. He paid for everything else so far.
Well, according to Casey's character sheet, she is sitting on 100 gold pieces.
That's where I'm at.
Meh.
I was at 1,000.
I'm pretty sure we're at a lot more. I didn't. My stuff was all taken, so I have no idea how much we actually have.
Now that you guys have the sending stones,
whenever I thought of the Geth scene when I came through the door was just Gandalf in The Hobbit when he kept hitting his head on stuff.
you're right. Bonk.
Well, I guess we can go back to the inn and send the Viper an old trench straitjacket on their mission.
You guys make it back to the tavern, back to your room. You're able to give one of the sending stones to...
Straitjacket was the guy that talks normal.
Right.
I can't understand his partner like he does, so I'll give it to the dude I can understand, so when he does the report, I can actually understand it.
That is probably a wise move on your part.
So this stone will allow you to send a short message of 25 words, no more. So whenever you send any type of information or report, just make sure it doesn't exceed 25 words. I have the counterpart so that I can communicate back with you.
Understood, Gov. Mr. Bubbinsworth also writes him some notes and some messages. Basically letters.
A letter of introduction.
A letter of introduction and some other stuff to be mailed, sent, and then wait for. He gives your thug, Straitjacket, instructions to go to Irebar and to send these messages out, requesting the information to come back to Irebar, where then any information can be then transferred. Relayed, thank you. Relayed then to your sending stone. Sound good? Mm-hmm. Okay. Now that you have established a line of communication between Mr. Bubbinsworth's organization and your now henchmen, followers, whatever term you want to use, your choice. I assume that your next plan is to then head out and head towards the monastery. Mm-hmm. Is that correct?
Yes.
Is that a fair assessment on my part?
Yes, but I've also put in some thought, and it might be suicide, it might not be. Either way, it's suicide going in there, so I figured at this point, what could it hurt? But I was thinking once we go back in to kind of apologize, saying we got off on the wrong foot just coming in. Maybe actually try knocking and see if we can... I'm not saying it'll work, but to try to get an audience or speak to somebody versus just going in and making going in the last resort versus maybe... Who knows? So this is my character just trying to weigh the situation with speculation. Who knows? Maybe this dude in the monastery doesn't really care much for Asarak. You know? And we have his phylactery. So yeah, he probably wants to kill us to get it back. But if his hate for Asarak is more than trying to get his phylactery back, then maybe he would be willing to impart the information that we need to kind of move us forward is what I'm... Because, I mean, I'm not saying we don't have the ability to find the information. I just know it's going to be a fight to find it. And then I don't want to take any chances of missing a crucial piece of information. Because what better way to get the information than the people who have actually been studying it and know it versus trying to decipher it ourselves.
I understand.
Like I said, it's based off of speculation and blind hope at this point.
All fair assessments. Anything else? Anybody else?
Nick likes eggs.
Well, as far as your assessment and determining its level of effectiveness, whether anything that Thrander just thought of, said out loud, or stated is true or not, we'll have to wait until next episode to find out. This has been a Merciless Gaming Media Dungeons & Dragons podcast production. Everyone here at Merciless Gaming Media, Drome, Egan, Nick, and myself, Patrick, truly thank you for your patronage. Come check out our Merciless Gaming Media Facebook page for updates on future podcasts. Also, if you are interested in supporting the show, you can go online to Spooky Stuff Studio and purchase our logo t-shirt or hoodie. And while you're there, you may even find other t-shirts and designs created by Casey that you may want to check out. Thank you for listening to the show, and we hope you have a merciless day.